What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Blue Pill Podcast. It is Abe, your host. Still no Lammy. I need to find Lammy. She's somewhere hidden in the house. When I took my break from podcasting, I just brought her in because I ain't gonna lie. I'm 33 years old. I'm a dude, but I have like a stuffed animal collection. So I put her in the bed with my other stuffed animals. What? You guys know I'm a weirdo. Gotta work today, so I'm in uniform. I have this horrendous zit right here. I just shaved. So please ignore it. I know, it's disgusting. So yesterday, as far as update, nothing big, but yesterday I got kinda irritated. I was job hunting yesterday, and I went to Domino's Pizza. I'm trying to get a second job because I got like 2 or 3 days I could work, and they got 3 actual Domino's vehicles with the little sign. They're painted like Domino's. They're all the same model, a newer car. Not sure which car it is. And they're looking for delivery drivers. So I go in, I'm like, hell yeah, dude, I could be a delivery driver and you guys got your own cars. So I don't have to worry about wear and tear on my car. So I go in there and I talk to the lady. I'm like, so what do you all need? And, I got a paper app, and she's like, oh, we need delivery drivers, but you got to have your own car and deliver with your own car. And I don't know. I was just kind of like, so what's the point of those 3 Domino's cars there? Like, I don't know. I was like, well, I ain't gonna lie. I got to talk to my wife, dude, because that's wear and tear on my vehicle. Yeah, it's like no wonder you can't have why she's like, yeah, we're struggling with delivery drivers, we can't keep them and stuff. And it's like, yeah, because you guys are a multi-million-dollar company with 3 cars out front, Domino's cars, and you want people who are poor as fuck, and I'm sure they're only gonna pay like $12 an hour or something like that. You want people who are poor as fuck to run their cars ragged. Like, I don't know, man. These companies, dude, they fucking blow, man. Like, you are a $1,000,000,000 company, and it's just irritating. So I didn't drop the app back off for that one. I talked to my wife. She's like, hell no. You ain't gonna wear and tear my Cadillac. And, it is what it is, man. It's hard out here looking for a job in general, and even just a second job, it's hard, But that's about it for an update. I just wanted to go on that little rant. Today we're doing a video game review. This might actually be a two-part review. I might do 2 games today, depending on if this takes up 30 minutes or not. Give me just a second. I dropped something. Sorry about that. But the first game I'm going to be reviewing is Road to Eldorado, Gold and Glory for Game Boy Color. I picked this up for, I think it was like $15. It was actually one of the most expensive games that I picked up that day. I did like a, kind of like a video game haul. When I beat a certain amount of games, I will go to the game store. We have 2 awesome game stores here in town. And they're called Game Exchange, and they got 2 here in town, so I don't know if it's a statewide thing in the United States or if it's just a local thing, Kentucky. They're awesome, though. Like, the amount of Game Boy games they got and shit is fucking dope. So I picked this game up. I picked up Lord of the Rings, Return of the King for Game Boy Advance, so I'll probably review that later. I picked up, like, Monster House was one. I don't know, just a bunch of good games. I picked up, like, 4 or 5 games and only paid, like, $25. It was fucking awesome. So check out that store that's where I've been getting my games from, Game Exchange and Half Price Books. But yeah, so it's a side scroll. It's a platformer. I didn't mind, I know I ranted about companies making side scroll and platformers, and I don't know if it's just if it's an easier thing to make than a top-down or something, but this one actually is pretty dope. It's very smooth. It's not clunky at all. To me, honestly, dude, like, you can run in it, so it's not like a slow platformer. Like, it feels almost like Sonic the Hedgehog at certain points, and like you can jump super far and super high. You collect coins instead of like rings, you know. It felt like Sonic the Hedgehog. But the sword reach, you have a rapier. So basically the storyline is, and the storyline's actually really good. Like, I watched the movie. It's based off of a cartoon by DreamWorks. Which, by the way, this is a conspiracy channel, and I actually cover conspiracies mostly, but there is this chick, dude, who put out like a YouTube short, and there's like, I kid you not, there's like a dick sucking scene in Road to Eldorado where he's laying back and the girl's like, it doesn't show her, but it shows her get up, and she was like clearly like down at his crotch level, and there's even like dick sucking sound effects, like, and he gets up and his hair's a mess and he's like, oh, like all dreamy looking. I don't know. And this girl was like, this is why we should boycott Disney. And everyone in the comment section was like, dude, it's a DreamWorks picture. Like, it's not Disney. Which I actually kept thinking it was a Disney game. But sadly, dude, here's the thing with Disney games. Either they are amazing and awesome, or they completely suck balls. So I was like, damn, this is good for a Disney game. And it's like, no, it's not Disney. That's probably why it's good. But yeah. But since we're on the conspiracy shit, I love the storyline. So basically, it's Tulio and another dude, and you get the option to choose between both. I am not sure if there is a difference between the characters. I only played as the blonde guy once for the final boss, who is he's a conquistador. I cannot, Cortez, I think. But basically he's the villain. He's invading Eldorado, which spoiler alert, you make it to Eldorado eventually, which is like this city full of gold, which there's always been conspiracies about. Like, some people think it's the Grand Canyon. I don't know. It's just one of those fun conspiracies that I enjoy. Like, growing up in Florida, we always heard conspiracies of the Bermuda Triangle or the Fountain of Youth being there because DeSoto, my favorite explorer, was actually looking for the Fountain of Youth in Florida and stuff. So kind of neat. I like the conspiracy side of it. I remember coming across the movie and watching it as a kid, and I think we watched Road to Eldorado. It was in the summertime, and when they would do free movies. A lot of theaters still do it. I think the one we go to, Movie Tavern here in Nicholasville, I think they do it. But down in Florida, there was this movie theater that used to do free movies during summer vacation. And my oldest brother, I ain't gonna lie, he's my favorite brother. I love him to death. He's cool as fuck. He used to take us to the free movies, and I remember Road to Eldorado was one of them, and Atlantis was one of them. And as a kid, I remember loving them. Now, I'm not sure if the movies are still as good. I might do a conspiracy cinema episode on each one, because for one, I love animated films. Two, they're both conspiracy related. And three, I want to see if they still hold up, like if they're legit cool. Like another movie I want to see is Treasure Planet. The artwork looks awesome, and I don't know, it still looks cool as fuck, dude. They have a game for it on Game Boy Advance. I want to try to get it. But anyways, so It's a side scroll. It's super smooth. And I love the feel of it. Like, I don't know. Like, if you've ever played like a good side scroll that just runs smoothly, it's just, you feel it. It's like butter, you know? It cuts through like butter. And then there's clunky ones. If you've played a clunky one, you're like, oh, this feels clunky, dude. So it's super smooth. You got a rapier. It's so Tulio and the other guy are the two main characters. You get character select. You can choose between them. I chose Tulio because I kind of dig his style more. He wears blue. It's my favorite color. Besides black, but some people say black's not a color. He's got black hair, a ponytail. I just liked the way he looked, and he seemed cooler. At one point, there is a boss. It's a boss level. It's not really a fight. It's a gigantic bull, and you have to run from it. And they make you use Tulio, which I was already using, because supposedly they say he's faster. I'm not sure, like I said, because I didn't play as both characters. I guess it'd be kind of good for replay value if they play differently, like playing as both characters. I just liked Tulio, so I stuck with him. Now, but basically his storyline is him and his buddy, they fake duels in the town square to like earn money. So, and you do earn coins. I cannot remember for the life of me if after, no, that's the bags. So when you collect bags, and I didn't know this until like literally like level 18. I think there's 20 levels. I think I was 2 levels before the final boss, and I didn't realize that the bags, if you push select, are long range attacks. You throw bags at people, like sacks of something in it, and it hurts them. So you have a long range and a short range attack. It's a rapier. The reach on the rapier is actually pretty fucking dope. You don't have to be right up on someone. You can be like barely tap them, and you know it kills them. So the battling in the game was awesome. And one problem that I had was when you jump, you do slide a little bit. It's not like unforgivable like Lady Sia, which I'm going to review that. That's a game I've been playing. Very disappointed in that game. I'm not going to go into it too much because I'm going to do a review on it. But you do have to be careful when jumping on certain platforms because there's spike pits and shit. And it's like, yeah, you do slide a little bit when you land, which kind of sucks. But if you collect enough of like wiggling sacks, which are snakes inside of a bag, if you wait long enough, the snake will come out and attack you. But if you collect enough of those, you get extra lives. So get as much lives as you can. So it is a password game, which this can actually work in your advantage. If you're a cheater like me, I do cheat every now and then. I'm a casual gamer, but at least I admit it. I play to have fun, you know. I cheated one time in this game because I kept getting to like the very last part of the level to where all you had to do was like maybe go like 1 or 2 more screens, but I kept dying, dude. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to use a password for the next level. And just skip this like 2 screen part because I was so close every single time. I tried it like 3 or 4 times and I was like, fuck it. I looked and it was like a password to get to the next level, and I'm like, I'm just gonna use the password. Sorry, you know, I cheat. But that was the only time I cheated in the game. Now it does kind of work to your advantage with passwords. I understand why they do password systems because it's cheaper to make. It makes it to where you don't have to have a save battery, which is kind of nice because it being 2025, a lot of people's save batteries are starting to die on older cartridges, which means you have to either do it, which means you could fuck up your cartridge, or you could send it to someone who knows what they're doing and they could fix it. Um, I wish I knew someone that could fix, like, replace saving batteries in old carts, because that day's gonna come when I can't play my games. So give me just a second. Okay, I recalibrated. The password system, so it can work to your advantage, but the password system also was frustrating at certain points. By the way, the difficulty on this game is it's not impossible, and it's actually not super hard. Like, to me, you couldn't beat this game. I mean, you could, but if you're a speedrunner, but for a casual gamer like me, this is a game that you would, like, wake up, drink your coffee, and say it's your day off. It's like, oh, I'm gonna beat this game today. It took me like several days, because I had bought the game and it had been sitting in my collection for a while, and I don't know, one day I was just like, I'm gonna play through this game and see how far I can get. And I just sat there on my day off and, like, dude, I got super fucking far, you know? It took me about 2 or 3 days, but I was taking breaks. But this is a game that if you have a day off and you want to just have fun with an old school cartridge, you know, for a day, you could beat it in one day. But the password system is a little frustrating because sometimes they will give you a password. It's usually 2 to 3 levels. If you beat 2 or 3 levels, then it will give you a password. So that was kind of annoying because usually with password games, you get a password after each level, which I prefer it like that, because there's some levels that are fucking hard as hell on games, and it's like, dude, you're gonna make me beat like 2 or 3 levels that are hard as fuck. So it does kind of grate on your... I'm someone who gets, wouldn't say frustrated easily, but I get stressed out easily. So, like, knowing that I have to do like 2 or 3 levels in one sitting to get a password is aggravating, instead of just a password after each level. Especially towards the end of the game, it gets harder and harder. But it's not impossible. The difficulty is not impossible because, like I said, I'm not an amazing gamer. I'm not a horrible gamer, but I'm not an amazing one. I'm kind of like, I'm okay at gaming. It doesn't get monotonous. It's a side scroll, but like the boss fights are very interesting. It kind of switches it up. Like the 3rd level, first boss fight, it's not even really a fight. You're running from a gigantic bull. And you have to like duck at certain points. You have to jump at certain points. There is a part on the game where you're riding a horse as the blonde guy. Forgive me, I can't remember his name. But you have to like not side saddle, but like ride sideways on the horse because there's like shit flying up above, and then you have to jump over logs and shit. So it's one of those like up, down, kind of like the bull mission. There is one part where you're like fighting this Aztecian big guy, and you're not really fighting him. What you're trying to do is like score a ball through the hoop, because if you guys know, they had rubber balls back then, and they actually had a sport. I'm not a historian, so if you guys know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. It's kind of like there's a pole with a hoop at the top, and you have to get the ball through it. So it's not repetitive. It's got enough like little boss fights and I guess mini games here and there to keep it from getting repetitive, which is cool. Let's see. Let's go back to talking about the code. So this is where passwords, if you are a cheater like me, this is where passwords are nice. So like you can Google or watch long plays of people, and depending on the code, like let's say this dude collected like 5 extra lives, or let's say this dude, not 5 extra, but let's say this dude has 5 lives on the long play. He's really good at this game, and you beat the level and your code, because it depends on the code they give you. It's randomized with how many lives you have, your health and all that shit, how many coins you have. you can technically cheat and be like, hey, technically I'm on the same level, but now I have more lives with this guy's code. So it is kind of, it can help you as an advantage, the whole code thing, if you're a cheater, you know. Until the last level. Until the last level, no matter what code you have, it starts you off with bare minimum sacks to throw, and you can only collect so many before you fight Cortez, to where they make it to where you can't cheat, dude. You gotta fight Cortez, and it only gives you a certain amount of sacks, and it only gives you a certain amount of lives. So you get like 2 chances to beat Cortez. So I'm gonna give you a little cheat on how to beat Cortez. So the first long play that I was watching, I'm not trying to be mean. I don't remember the guy's channel anyway, so I'm not gonna like trash talk him. This guy sucked at fighting Cortez. Like, he literally fought him like 10 times before he finally beat him. Here's what you do. When you get into the battle with Cortez, immediately switch to the sacks, the long range attack, and you stand about at the middle, and you have to time it perfectly. You jump, and when you're coming back down, right before you land, you throw a sack, and it will hurt Cortez. And you just do this over and over and over, and you'll kill him in like 2 seconds. He's easy as fuck. But if you don't know that trick, he's hard as fuck. But there's how you beat Cortez. So I kept retrying over and over and over again on this Cortez dude. And I have this thing because I've studied a little bit of psychology. I took 1 college course in it. And so I know a little bit about the human brain. And I know that I personally watch long plays of people beating bosses that I'm stuck on. Because for one, it helps if they know something you don't, how to beat this guy. 2, it's been proven psychologically, and try it out, guys. If you're ever stuck on a boss, try it out. Watch someone else beat it, because it will give you like a grain of hope psychologically. And I guarantee it's like a little trick. It tricks your mind to go, I can do it too. And there's been studies on it. If you see someone accomplish something that you think is impossible, it actually helps you to have enough courage and confidence to actually beat their score or whatever, you know. So I do that a lot. And that's when I noticed, like, the first guy that I was watching was horrible. And the second guy, I was like, dude, he beat him in like 2 seconds. There's a trick. You just jump, and then right before you land, you just throw something at him. And like, just untouchable, perfect, just perfect. Beat him. No damage taken, you know. Alright, so there is not cutscenes, but the artwork is beautiful. The game is beautiful. It's super colorful. It's based, I guess, like you start in like Spain or something, and then you go to like some South American country like Aztecian or Mayan. It's very beautiful. It's a beautiful game. It's super bright and colorful. There is darker levels at night when you're going through the jungles, or there's a cave level, like. But yeah, it's a beautiful game. The music is good. The graphics are good. You're a cute little sprite. But it's cool. Like, if you stand there, he'll sit there and twiddle his thumbs or whatever. It's a beautiful game. They actually, for a licensed game, they did a very good job. Because you know how licensed games are. They can either be awesome or suck, you know. So yeah, honestly, dude, I think this is the first score. No, Yu Yu Hakusho, I think I gave a 9 out of 10. So we're getting out of the 8 category. This is, I would give this a 9 out of 10. It was super fun. We're just going to do a little recap. It was super fun. Music was good. The storyline was great. I felt, even though that it's just slideshow with writing on the bottom, it is, the storyline's good. I like it. I dig it as a conspiracy theorist, and in general, like, as someone who is a big fan of like adventure as the genre, fantasy as a genre. It was cool. I love conspiracies. I love adventure. I love fantasy. It's my favorite genre. I like it over sci-fi, you know. Storyline was awesome. Graphics were great. It's not too long, but it's not too short. Took me like 3 days to beat. When I actually sat down and was trying to beat it, took me about 3 days. You can beat it in one. You could, if you're a speedrunner and you're an awesome gamer, you could beat it in one sitting. There's a little tips and tricks that I gave you, a little bit of cheats I gave you, told you how to beat the last boss. Yeah, it was an awesome game. The replay value, definitely, I would say I would replay this. I cannot remember if there's difficulty settings. I'm not gonna lie, dude. Anytime I play a game for the first time, I always play it on easy. And that's just me. I just always play it on easy. And then honestly, that makes it for replay value of like challenging myself of, I beat it on easy, let's see if I can beat it on hard or medium or whatever. So the replay value, if the characters play differently, Tulio and the other guy, the blonde guy, if they play differently, that would definitely make the replay value of the game go up. But I did like the gameplay and the storyline and the game overall enough to where I would say the replay value is definitely high, especially, let's say you're broke and you can't afford to get another Game Boy cart, you know, which I'm kind of struggling with right now with, I'm not making as much money as I used to. I could see myself like popping this in, and it's a rainy day, so I'm not going to be able to go out hiking or do something that I like to do. So it's like, okay, I'm stuck in the house. Let me beat Road to Eldorado, you know, and it'll take up my whole day, you know. That's about it as far as a review on that. So it's a little shorter than 30 minutes. I don't want to jump into another review just because I like to keep it around the 30-minute mark, and it's 27. So let me know in the comments if you guys have ever played this game before, if you enjoyed it, if you hated it. It's an open discussion. Like I said, I'm doing game reviews and Blue Pill podcast right now. I will get back into conspiracies. I know that my old fans are probably like, dude, come on, man. Like, we came here for conspiracy, but this is what makes me happy right now. And my happiness and my mental health is more important than stressing myself out that the world is ending and the Illuminati control everything. And I don't want to become black-pilled, you know. So, I do have plenty of conspiracies written down. We are going to get back into that. I have plenty of episode ideas. I actually spoke to a guy today. This is just a little heads up of what's coming for the channel. I'm talking to a guy today who, listen to this shit. He lives in New Orleans, and he grew up in the house next to the Count of Saint Germain mansion. So I'm talking to him right now. Hopefully he answers, but I want to try to interview him for the podcast. If it's true, if it's not, I don't know. You never know with people. If it's true, fuck yeah, dude. That will be an awesome fucking interview. So I'm hoping to set that up. I'm talking to the guy. Hopefully it goes through. If he's even cool with it, you know. Even if it's not, you know, a full podcast, like, I would love to just interview him as long as I can, get as much audio as I can, and I'll stitch it in with like, maybe like I'll stitch it in, honestly, explaining who Count Saint Germain is and his story and all that shit. So yeah, look forward to that. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers, dude. And I'm at 408. I was at 409 yesterday. I dropped one. I don't know what I said or did that pissed someone off, but that, or it could be YouTube unsubscribing people from me, which sucks because it's like, dude, I haven't even been putting out conspiracy lately. I've been a good boy. I did a pizza review the other day, and I've been doing Blue Pill podcast of video games reviews. So like, even when you're a good boy, they're shadow banning and like unsubscribing people, you know. And I haven't been putting out anything crazy or outlandish, but maybe it is someone who came here just for conspiracy and they're like, oh, you're not putting out conspiracy right now, I'm gonna unsubscribe, you know. It could be that, who knows. But I love y'all. Please subscribe. I'm trying to get up to 500. Y'all have a good day.